of initiatives and entering into global partnerships in ensuring that India and Indian stakeholders, our ecosystem players, become integral to the global supply chains in both on the commercial side as well as on the defense side. That brings to what state governments like the proactive state governments like Telangana can do and what we have been doing. So I'll quickly share some of the strengths of the Telangana ecosystem. Most of you are well versed on that, but nevertheless it's important to acknowledge what has been done over the last 10 years since Telangana formation. I think we've gone a long way. Now our ecosystem is as strong as, like, we have around 1,000 MSMEs who are contributing and who have become actually one of the primary reason for attracting global players as well. We have come up with a very revolutionary industrial policy which has streamlined in terms of the ease of doing business, we are among the best in the country. The PSI pass has completely, it's now treated as a gold standard for any other state to emulate in terms of easing the industrial approvals, including for sectors like defense and aerospace. Incentive package, of course, Subhav was mentioning, we have a very simple policy and a very straightforward policy, which is again legislated. The minister comes with a mandate to provide the best incentives that the industrial sector can get. We have what is called as the meet or beat policy, and through which we've been able to attract the marquee investors in the sector, and it's a matter of pride that companies who come to Hyderabad continue to invest in Hyderabad. And the classic example we give is of the saffron. They came with one small investment, but for the last 10 years they have invested 5 times in 5 different projects. So the going gets only better for companies who come and witness the support, the kind of support that they get, not just from the government, of course we are there, but also from the other players. So both from the policy side, incentive side, and of course now we are working on more infrastructure creation. My colleague Dr. Praveen, most of you must be knowing him. So he's working on creating more aerospace parks and defense parks and come up with world-class infrastructure facilities to support new players and attract more investment in the sector. But more importantly, we are also looking at the most important component, probably this needs greater deliberation in the course of this seminar, is about the talent. Yes, that has been one of the main reasons why we are able to attract global players, but again, there are huge gaps which have been pointed out by many players, and we need to work on that. Telangana government through unique initiatives and like tasks, the Telangana Academy for Skills and Knowledge has been focusing on bridging the gap between academia and the requirements of the industry. But we are also looking at other ambitious projects like coming up with a dedicated aerospace and defense university, where we, in partnership with global players, we already have entered into some initial understandings with universities like the Conclave University from UK and the Aerospace Aquitaine from France. And also a couple of other ongoing discussions with US partners. But we hope, this is definitely a top priority for the government, and hopefully the new government, will definitely focus and see that the Aerospace and Defense University becomes a reality and it's materialized soon. And here again, this can be quickly done if there is support, not just from the central government, but also more importantly, if there is ownership from the industry also. So on the talent side, we are working, and finally, the main topic of today's conclave, which is about disruptive technologies. And here again, the innovation ecosystem that has been nurtured by the state government of Telangana has again set up a very good example for many other states to follow. We are proud to have the world's largest innovation campus in the form of the T-Hub and T-Works, and the image which is going to happen next year. And of course, our strengths have been demonstrated amply by our 2 important successful startups that we have produced from the Hyderabad innovation ecosystem, Skyroot and Dhruva. Both have been pioneers in their fields in terms of the first Indian startup to successfully launch a rocket and first Indian startup to successfully place satellites in the lower Earth orbit. I think that also shows the kind of strengths we have in the innovation sphere. But I need to also say a few things about how government of Telangana is also working on disruptive technologies like drones or as Madam was pointing out, on additive manufacturing, or for that matter, green propulsions, which is going to impact even the aerospace and defense. So those climate goals are also going to trouble all of you, and it's better to be prepared both from the commercial point of view and also the long-term sustainable point of view. We need to focus on those technologies. And I'm happy to share that Telangana has always been in the forefront when it comes to coming with sectoral policies. We were the first to have a space policy. We were the first state, among the first states, to have a drone policy. We were the first state to work on blockchain and cyber security, which has an impact on the defense area as well. In fact, even in attracting investments, we in May, when we were in UK, we were able to engage a company called Green Jets, who are specialized in manufacturing drones using 3D printing through additive technologies. So the Green Jet is also going to materialize. So hopefully the full-fledged factory would hopefully come quickly to Hyderabad. On the drone sales, drones, of course, on the services side and application side, I think we have been the forefront. Well acknowledged pilot projects like the Medicine from the Sky. We were one of the first states to successfully launch such applications for drones. But we are also focusing on making Hyderabad a hub for drones manufacturing. Not just drones, I should say, with the learnings that we have from the strategic learnings. I'm sure many people from the strategic community also are in this room. What we are seeing and witnessing in the Ukraine war I mean, we all have to reflect on that, if required, behind closed doors, because it has shown that how obsolete some technologies can become in the modern warfare. You can't be using $1 million missiles to tackle drones. You need disruptive anti-drone technology to deal with such new age warfare systems. So I think we need to catch up, and we need to always try to think about how technologies and innovation are going to impact both our own defense interests and priorities, but most importantly, the commercial opportunities that they bring together. And finally, I would like to touch upon on the exports. See, government of Madam was pointing out that Hyderabad ecosystem. I just need to slightly give a different figure. Unfortunately, the current accounting system mix-ups of engineering goods also. Much of the engineering goods from Hyderabad are actually aerospace and defense engineering goods. So when you look at the exports, probably those who have been those components which have been tagged as aerospace exports might be only 100 million, as you are mentioning. But if you look at the overall engineering goods, many of the exports are tagged as engineering goods. So that, I think, we already reached close to 700 million. The huge potential. To that extent, we have started internal conversations within the department to come up with a sector-specific export strategy as part of overall state-led export policy. We hope to launch this policy probably early next year. We have started internal consultations and stakeholder consultations, and I look forward to inputs coming from this conclave as well. How do we actually now see, as again, we have the right ingredients, as Dr. Sai Prasad Garu had mentioned, but how do we bring them together so that we reach the scale and also we maximize and leverage each other's strengths? So to that extent, what are the ingredients that have to go into promoting exports and make our products which are actually very well established in terms of their quality, but what are the additional steps that we need to take to increase the export components from our MSMEs? I think that's where we are looking at. You could talk about testing, common facilities and testing labs, which are important, and some of the regulations that impinge, licensing that is required to facilitate them. So all those elements we are trying to capture in the export policy, and your feedback in this regard would be very much useful going forward. Finally, I would like to conclude by saying that this is, see, aerospace and defense, the opportunities are well established. Strategically and from geopolitical point of view, all that is happening is in our favor. The industry, both the PSU side as well as private sector side, has now a lot of experience and has established its credentials. India as a country, as a government, state government and both central government have emphasized the importance of indigenization. So we have the right environment and we are well poised to not just become an important hub in India, but also to become a global player. So the forces have to come together, and I think conclaves like this and the initiatives that CII is doing. I know CII is also working on a set of recommendations to be submitted to the government of Telangana of what we can do in all these areas, policy areas, infrastructure areas, incentives areas. We look forward to that, and hopefully with full participation from all of you, we will be in a position to establish, despite the difficulties of political difficulties in the current environment. I'm sure we will establish Hyderabad as a major global hub for both civilian and defense manufacturing industry. Thank you very much once again for this opportunity to engage with all of you.